Canada has its fair share of billionaires, but behind some of the country's most iconic fortunes, from liquor empires to pharmaceutical giants, are incredibly wealthy and influential women. They are the matriarchs, the partners, and the power brokers who have shaped dynasties, steered philanthropic foundations, and built legacies that will last for generations. Many of them fly under the radar, their names known only in the most exclusive circles of power and finance. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to count down a list of 10 incredibly wealthy Jewish wives, widows, and matriarchs connected to Canada's powerful dynasties. We'll uncover the stories behind the fortunes and the incredible influence these women wield, often far from the public eye. Now, a quick disclaimer. Calculating the precise net worth of these individuals is notoriously difficult. Much of their wealth is tied up in private family trusts and complex corporate structures. The figures we'll be discussing are based on the most recent publicly available estimates and reports, so the true scale of their fortunes could be even greater. This list is our best effort at a ranking, but the real story is in the influence, not just the numbers. Let's begin our journey into this world of Canada's super rich. Number 10. Nancy Pencer. Our countdown begins with Nancy Pencer, a woman whose name is synonymous with a major Canadian corporate turnaround and, more importantly, with a legacy of fierce philanthropic dedication. Nancy is the widow of the late Jerry Pencer, the visionary behind Cott Corporation. In the 1980s, Jerry took a small Quebec beverage bottler and transformed it into a global giant. Cott became famous for making private label soft drinks for major supermarkets, taking on titans like Coke and Pepsi. The strategy was simple but brilliant: offer a comparable product for a fraction of the price right on the same shelf. The company's incredible rise made the Pencers a very successful family. Tragically, just as they were reaching the zenith of their success, Jerry was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor. He passed away in 1998. It was in this moment of loss that Nancy Pencer's second act truly began. She channeled her grief and her considerable resources into one mission: fighting the disease that had taken her husband. Her crowning achievement is the establishment of the Jerry and Nancy Pencer Brain Tumor Center at Princess Margaret Cancer Center in Toronto. It's not just a name on a wall. The hospital describes it as one of the world's leading centers of its kind. Nancy's vision was to create a place offering not just cutting-edge treatment, but also compassionate care for patients and their families. She understood what they needed because she had lived it. Through her leadership and tens of millions of dollars in donations, the Pencer Center has become a global leader, pioneering new treatments and offering a beacon of hope to thousands. The Cott Corporation fortune was built on soda, but Nancy Pencer has used it to build a lasting legacy of healing and hope. Number 9. Emmanuel Gattuso. On number 9 is Emmanuel Gattuso, a powerhouse philanthropist whose influence is woven into Canadian healthcare, arts, and social justice. Appointed a member of the Order of Canada, Emmanuel Gattuso is a force of nature in her own right, particularly in the world of philanthropy. A cancer survivor herself, her giving is often strategic and bold. Her most visible impact is at Toronto's Princess Margaret Cancer Center, where her partnership with her late husband, broadcasting pioneer Alan Slate, made history. Around 2013, the couple made headlines with a staggering $50 million donation to the hospital, one of the largest private gifts to a Canadian hospital at the time. This wasn't just a check, it was a catalyst for personalized cancer medicine. Even before that, they had already donated millions to establish the Gattuso Rapid Diagnostic Center, an initiative that drastically slashed the agonizing wait times for a cancer diagnosis. Through her private foundation, La Fundación Emmanuel Gattuso, her impact extends far beyond a single cause. She has made multi-million-dollar commitments to a wide array of initiatives, from supporting transitional housing for former inmates to funding health programs for underrepresented women. Emmanuel Gattuso seems to operate on a simple but powerful principle: give, give, give. It doesn't matter how much or how little, Hopefully your gift inspires others to do the same. She has become one of Central Canada's most vital and impactful philanthropic leaders, proving that true wealth isn't just what you have, but what you do with it.
Number 8. The Switzer heirs, Serene Switzer-Grew and Catherine Switzer-Inunch. Coming in at number 8 are two sisters, Serene Switzer-Grew and Catherine Switzer-Inunch, who are heirs to a remarkable tech fortune. Their story is a testament to immigrant ingenuity and the creation of immense wealth in a field most people never think about: electronic security. The source of their family's fortune was their brilliant father, the late Israel, or Strucky, Switzer. A Polish-born Holocaust survivor who immigrated to Canada, Switzer was a self-taught engineering genius. Starting in the 1950s, he became a pioneer in the cable television industry. But his masterstroke was in security. Through a series of companies that eventually became part of Interlogix, he didn't just make cameras or alarms, he created the complex integrated systems that managed them. The matrix switchers and control systems his companies developed became the backbone of security for casinos, airports, and prisons around the globe. If you've ever seen a movie with a security guard in front of a wall of monitors, chances are the technology making it all work was pioneered by Israel Switzer. Around the year 2000, General Electric acquired Interlogix as part of a larger push into the security market. While the exact transaction details aren't public, the deal created immense wealth for the Switzer family. Since their father's passing, his daughters, Serene and Catherine, have become the custodians of this fortune. They have largely remained out of the public spotlight, managing their wealth privately. However, their father's legacy of giving back continues through their quiet but significant support of Jewish causes, education, and healthcare in the Toronto area, including institutions like the Baycrest Centre. The Switzer story is a powerful example of the Canadian dream realized on an epic scale. A narrative of a man who survived history's darkest chapter, came to a new country, and built a technology empire. Today, his daughters preside over that quiet but formidable legacy. Number 7. Julia Reichman. At number 7, we enter the world of one of Canada's most legendary and private dynasties, the Reichmans. Julia Reichman is the wife of Ralph Reichman, one of the famous brothers who built the global real estate empire Olympia in York. The Reichman saga is often centered on the visionary dealmaker Paul and the construction leader Albert, but Ralph played a crucial role, helping to run the family's original, highly profitable tile business, which provided the financial bedrock for their early real estate ventures. Julia, like the other wives of the Reichman brothers, has maintained an intensely private life in keeping with the family's devout Orthodox Jewish faith. The Reichman women are not seen on the society pages. Their influence is felt in a different sphere, as the matriarchs of a deeply knit family and as guiding forces in their community's religious and social life. The family's story is one of almost biblical proportions. Fleeing Nazi-era Europe from their home in Vienna, the family made their way through Paris and Tangier, Morocco, before settling in Toronto in the 1950s. They started with a tile business and built Olympia in York into the largest private real estate developer on the planet. At their peak in the 1980s, their portfolio was valued in the billions, including iconic properties like New York's World Financial Center. Ralph and Julia, along with the rest of the family, lived a life of extraordinary wealth that was never ostentatiously displayed. Their focus was on family, faith, and philanthropy, with the family renowned for donating immense sums to support Jewish education and social services worldwide. Even after the spectacular collapse of Olympia in York in the early 1990s, the family eventually rebuilt significant wealth, with Ralph involved in various successful business ventures. Julia Reichman's life represents the quiet, foundational strength behind one of Canada's most ambitious business dynasties. Her position is defined not by her public profile, but as a matriarch within a family that remains one of the most influential in the Canadian Jewish community. Number 6. Egosa Reichman. At number 6, we delve deeper into the heart of the Reichman dynasty with a woman who was at the epicenter of its most dizzying heights and its most dramatic fall, the late Egosa Reichman. She was the wife of Albert Reichman, the eldest of the three brothers who founded Olympia and York. Egosa married Albert in the mid-1950s, and together they moved to Toronto in 1959. While his brother Paul was the visionary dealmaker, Albert was the master builder who oversaw the physical construction of their city-defining projects. Egosa, as his wife, was the steadfast matriarch who built the family's home life, raising their 4 children within the traditions of their Orthodox Jewish faith. During the 1970s and 1980s, the scale of their fortune was almost unimaginable. At their peak, the brothers' collective fortune was estimated to be close to $10 billion. Albert and Egosa were at the pinnacle of global real estate, yet their lives remained intensely private. Their philanthropy, however, was monumental. Albert, with Egosa by his side, was deeply involved in funding efforts to aid Jews seeking to immigrate from the Soviet Union. Then came the fall. The over-leveraged bet on the massive Canary Wharf project in London, combined with a global recession, brought the empire to its knees. In 1992, Olympia in York filed for bankruptcy, with debts estimated to be around $20 billion, one of the largest corporate collapses in Canadian history. Egosa Reichman lived through it all: the flight from Europe, the creation of an empire, and the pain of its public disintegration. She passed away in 2020, followed by her husband Albert Reichman in 2022. Her story is a powerful reminder of the fleeting nature of fortune and the enduring strength of faith and family. Her legacy is defined less by the billions they had and more by the values they held.
We're halfway through our countdown, and the stories are only getting more incredible. If you're finding this look into Canada's hidden fortunes fascinating, take a second to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You won't want to miss who is coming up next. Now let's get back to the list. Number 5. Mirella Saputo. At number 5, we find the matriarch of a family that turned a humble craft into a global food empire. Mirella Saputo is the wife of Lino Saputo, the founder of Saputo Inc., one of the world's largest dairy processors. According to some estimates, the family's combined fortune is in the range of $4 to $5 billion, making them one of the richest families in Canada. The Saputo story is a classic immigrant success story. The family's roots are in Sicily, where Lino's father was a cheesemaker. In the early 1950s, the Saputos immigrated to Montreal. The family story goes that they founded their cheese business with just $500 and a bicycle for deliveries. Mirella married Lino as the business was in its infancy, and she was an integral part of its early days, raising their 3 children and maintaining the family unit that remains the core of the Saputo empire. Under Lino's leadership, the company grew from a local supplier of mozzarella into a Canadian dairy powerhouse. He grew the business relentlessly through decades of strategic acquisitions, taking the company public in 1997. Today, Saputo Inc. is a global behemoth with products sold in around 60 countries and annual revenues in the ballpark of 15 to 17 billion Canadian dollars. Lino Saputo passed the day-to-day leadership to their son, Lino Jr., in 2004. However, the family, with Mirella as its respected matriarch, retains major ownership and influence. Their extensive investments go beyond dairy and into real estate and other industries. The family is also known for its impressive collection of antique cars and its deep involvement in Montreal sports, with their son Joey Saputo being the owner of CF Montreal. Mirella and the Saputo family are also major philanthropists in Quebec, with a particular focus on healthcare and community development, having made substantial donations to institutions like the Montreal Heart Institute. She is the matriarch of a family that has become synonymous with Canadian business success. Number 4. The late Honey Sherman. At number 4, we remember a woman whose life was one of immense wealth, profound generosity, and ultimately shocking tragedy. Honey Sherman, along with her husband Barry Sherman, was a towering figure in Canadian philanthropy and business. Honey was the wife of Bernard "Barry" Sherman, the founder of the generic drug giant Apotex Inc. Barry was a brilliant and notoriously combative businessman who, starting in 1974, built Apotex into a major global generic drug company. His business model made him billions, but also earned him endless litigation. At the time of their deaths in December 2017, Barry Sherman's net worth was estimated by Forbes to be around $3.2 billion. While Barry was the corporate warrior, Honey was the heart of their philanthropic empire. A daughter of Holocaust survivors, her background deeply informed her commitment to community. She was a force in her own right, serving as a prominent board member for numerous charities, including the Bakewrest Foundation and the United Jewish Appeal. Together, the Shermans were one of Canada's most prolific philanthropic couples, donating tens of millions to universities, hospitals, and community organizations. Friends described them as a perfect partnership. Barry made the money, and Honey was brilliant at giving it away with impact. Despite their immense wealth, they were known for a relatively unpretentious lifestyle. They lived in the same North York house for decades, a home that became the scene of a national tragedy. In December 2017, the couple were found dead in their basement. Police would eventually rule their deaths a targeted double homicide. The case remains one of Canada's most high-profile unsolved crimes. The tragedy put a shocking end to a life of incredible generosity. Honey Sherman was more than just a billionaire's wife. She was a community leader and the driving force behind a philanthropic legacy that has touched countless lives. Her violent death is a grim final chapter, but it cannot overshadow her life of purpose and extraordinary giving. Number 3. Rita Bronfman. Our list now takes us into the realm of Canadian corporate royalty. At number 3 is Rita Bronfman, a matriarch of the legendary Bronfman dynasty, a family whose name is synonymous with vast, old money wealth and profound influence. Rita is the wife of Charles Bronfman, an heir to the colossal Seagram liquor fortune. The family's wealth, with Charles's net worth estimated to be around $2.5 billion, is one of Canada's most established. The story begins with their patriarch, Samuel Bronfman, an immigrant who built the Seagram Company into the largest distiller of alcoholic beverages in the world. When Charles and his brother Edgar inherited the empire, it was a global behemoth. Charles ran the Canadian arm of the business and was also the majority owner of the Montreal Expos, Canada's first Major League Baseball team. As his wife, Rita was thrust into the highest echelons of Canadian society. The Bronfmans lived a life of immense privilege, but also one of immense responsibility. Charles, with Rita as his partner, has been one of the most significant philanthropists in the world for Jewish causes. Their giving is strategic and transformative. Their most famous creation is Taglit Birthright Israel. In the 1990s, Charles Bronfman, along with co-founder Michael Steinhardt and other philanthropists, launched this revolutionary program that provides a free 10-day heritage trip to Israel for young Jewish adults. The goal was to strengthen Jewish identity for a new generation. Since its inception, Birthright has brought hundreds of thousands of young people to Israel. Rita Bronfman has been an active partner in these philanthropic endeavors. Their family foundation, the Andrea and Charles Bronfman Philanthropies, has donated vast sums over decades to initiatives that promote Canadian heritage and strengthen Jewish life. Living in New York City, Rita and Charles Bronfman continue to be forces in art, culture, and philanthropy. Rita Bronfman's position is that of a dynastic matriarch, the partner to a man who inherited one of the 20th century's great fortunes and has focused on giving it away with a grand and historic purpose.
Number 2. Heather Reisman. At number 2, we have a woman who breaks the mold. She isn't just the wife of a billionaire, she is a celebrated business titan in her own right. Heather Reisman is the founder of Indigo Books and Music, and she is married to Jerry Schwartz, the founder of the private equity giant Onex Corporation. This makes them one of Canada's ultimate power couples. Heather Reisman's personal story is one of sharp intellect and entrepreneurial drive. She began her career in social work but soon pivoted to the corporate world. Her big moment came in the mid-1990s, when the American bookstore chain Borders failed to get approval to enter Canada. Reisman saw a massive opportunity. She drafted a business plan for a cultural department store, and in 1996, she launched Indigo. It was an immediate hit. In 2001, in a bold move, Indigo acquired its larger rival Chapters, making it the undisputed king of book retail in Canada. She also co-founded the e-reading company Kobo, which was later sold for over $300 million. Her husband, Jerry Schwartz, is a financial legend. He founded Onex Corporation in 1983, a leading private equity firm. His personal net worth is estimated to be around $1.5 billion US. Together, their combined fortune places them at the apex of the country's financial elite. Both Reisman and Schwartz are also deeply committed philanthropists. They've made enormous donations, including a landmark $100 million gift to the University of Toronto to create the Schwartz-Reisman Innovation Center, a hub for research in technology and its societal implications. They also co-founded the Hezeg Foundation, which provides scholarships and post-service support for non-Israelis who volunteered to serve in the Israeli Defense Forces. Heather Reisman is a unique figure on this list. She's a self-made success story who also married into one of the country's great private equity fortunes. She wields immense influence in both the cultural and financial landscapes of Canada, a true dual-threat mogul. Number 1. The Azrieli sisters, Naomi, Dana, and Sharon Azrieli. And now, at number 1 on our list, we don't have a single individual, but a formidable trio of sisters who collectively control a multi-billion-dollar real estate and philanthropic empire that spans 2 continents, Naomi, Dana, and Sharon Azrieli. They are the daughters of the late David Azrieli, a Canadian-Israeli visionary, architect, and developer. David fled Poland at the start of World War II, fought in Israel's War of Independence, and eventually settled in Montreal in 1954. He started small, building modest duplexes, but over the decades, he built CanPro Investments in Canada and the Azrieli Group in Israel into real estate juggernauts. When David Azrieli passed away in 2014, he left his colossal fortune to his 3 daughters. Today, Naomi, Dana, and Sharon collectively own about 46% of the publicly traded Azrieli Group. Their combined family net worth, according to publications like the Montreal Gazette, is estimated to be around 7.7 billion Canadian dollars, making them collectively the wealthiest women on our list. The sisters have divided the leadership of their empire, each playing to her strengths. Naomi Azrieli, based in Montreal, is the chair and CEO of the family's Canadian real estate arm, CanPro Investments. But her primary role is leading the family's other great enterprise, the Azrieli Foundation. With assets valued at over $2 billion, it is Canada's largest family foundation. Naomi manages its operations, overseeing the distribution of over $100 million annually to causes like science, Holocaust education, and the arts. Sharon Azrieli, an accomplished operatic soprano with a doctorate in music, helps guide the foundation's extensive funding in the arts and culture sector. Together, the Azrieli sisters represent a new model of inherited wealth. They are not passive beneficiaries, they are active and engaged leaders running a transatlantic real estate empire while managing a philanthropic foundation of an almost unimaginable scale. They are building on their father's legacy, using their immense resources to fund scientific breakthroughs and preserve historical memory. They are, without a question, the most powerful and wealthiest sisterhood in Canada. From soda pop to pharmaceuticals, from real estate dynasties to liquor fortunes, the stories of these women are more than just money. They are stories of immigration, ambition, tragedy, and resilience. Through their philanthropic work, they have shaped Canada's cultural institutions, funded life-saving medical research, and supported their communities in ways that will be felt for decades to come. The wealth they control is staggering, but the influence they wield is truly immeasurable. Which of these stories surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of the ultra-wealthy. Thanks for watching.